Hi guys, Dandelion Song here. This comes from a Marty Leeds video, and I don't remember the name of it, but I am watching, right now I'm at the end, I'm studying the Hebrew alphabet, zodiac, and the 16 digits of pi. It's basically a video based on pi and the alphabet, and it's on the Marty Leeds 33 channel. So if you want to check that out. But I don't know if this is in the video that I'm watching, because this is a notes from a few days ago before I kind of got making different videos. But these numbers, he teaches these numbers, and I believe that he is an insider, and so this is another clue about how these numbers are important. And I'm sorry about my shadows. I have all these lights on, but it's kind of a shadowy, overcast day. So the number count, so what he says over here is that, and I believe he's been taught this, I don't think he made this up, that Horus's eye tore Horus's eye out. And this has to do with the head wound, I believe, that's in the Bible. I think they took it from this story. And this is why the train, the Philadelphia train, had the one eye out. It had its right eye out. I don't know which eye Horus lost. And then Seth killed Osiris. And it said here that Osiris was the father and he was the moon god. Now, you know how I feel about the moon. I don't think that it's about our moon. I think it's an exoplanet. The shape is wrong, for one thing. So it says that Thoth, I don't know if I'm saying that right, put the eye back together, but it was missing 1/64 of the eye. Withheld, and the symbolism, according to Marty Leeds, is this is withheld by magic. Thoth found 63 out of 64 pieces. So then he goes on to say that the body is the eye of Horus, according to, I'm guessing, the Freemasons. So this is their number system of the 63 parts of the body. And if there was a missing part, you know, we are all tempted to say it would be the phallus because of the story of Osiris's missing phallus. And there is no number for that area, but there's also no number for the crown chakra. This is the connection to God. So I'm not sure about that. But let me show you these numbers, because this would be, I drew this in the video. He shows it, he shows himself. So he doesn't show a diagram like this to just copy. This would be the left side, this would be the right side. Well, so his left side has I noticed these feet, and the feet are the Pisces, okay? So Timothy Barger did a video about the Pisces being the fish foot, or being the fish being the foot, and then that relates to the Pisces being the foot. So it's interesting that 1122 are the feet from left to right, because this is, of course, the JFK assassination date, almost like it's a Piscean sacrifice or a Piscean ritual. This is also in Back to the Future, in the when the Back to the Future 2 was released. It's also in Pi. The 122nd place is the first 815 Bride of Christ number in the long version of Pi. Well, I just want to show you that he starts on his left little toe with 1. Then I actually think he does this wrong, and this is something that you have to look at when you're studying Freemasons, because they will give you, it's just like the church, they'll give you some kind of truth, but you have to use your own brain. So one thing that he did that was not symmetrical, which I cannot think is right, is he went, so you go one, so there's two, these are the phalanges, or the knuckles on the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then he went to the big toe here for 12. I am going to say that it's probably 12 over here. So I wrote this, but then I did write it the way that he said it, but I want to show you that I'm pretty sure they would have done this symmetrically. Like if you talked to the higher Freemason masters, which I don't feel like doing. Okay, so then you would have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's interesting that 17 is in the same place whether you count this right or wrong. And you know what the number 17 is, right? It's Q. It's my left hand. I'm going to mess it up if I circle this. Nope, not so bad. So that's interesting. That's in the same place no matter how you count it. Probably, maybe that's why they did that. Okay, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then it crosses over like this, see? Like an X up the legs. So this would be 23, 24, 25. This is the left thigh. So this is another pi right here. The interesting thing about this left thigh is that if you think of this in terms of Orion, I believe this is Rigel. I believe it is Rigel if Orion is facing it in its regular form, not mirrored. Now I'm a little confusing myself because I'm going to have to go back and check to make sure. I've done it mirrored and not mirrored, and I'm getting a little confused about that. So, okay, 26 is the whole alphabet, right? So this, I forget the name of this star. I think it in Orion, but these I think are star our major star, Orion star references. Now there is no belt here, so you can go ahead and disagree with me because if it was a major Orion correlation, seems like there would be a belt. Maybe the belt's missing. Maybe that's the missing part, right? 64. Let's just write out 64. So I don't know. Maybe the belt's missing, but that would be weird, I think. Okay, 24. So then the other thing that I noticed about these numbers is 27 is, he pointed to his heart. So this would be 9, and this is also a 9. So the pineal gland is 9, and then the speaking would be an 8. This is interesting that 62 is an 8 because of the 4 sounds of the ankh, the A, and K, and H, and their opposites. I have a video about the secret of the ankh, which I created from a web page. It's not all my own information. I just made a video so it would be easier for you to access. And it talks about these 4 original sounds of creation and their opposites. There's 8 of them. And so sounds, that makes sense that this would be 8. Isis is also the spoken word. And so she is not only the ears, the mouth, and probably the throat chakra. And we see that symbolism in the way that she's drawn there on the earth in different places, especially in Philadelphia. Okay, so then this shoulder's 28 and 29. This is the number of the 2 hands. This is the number, we've talked a lot about this. And this is that when I was talking to you about the 2 hands and each hand having 14 phalanges. And this is the number of how long in years the Twin Towers were allowed to stand. That's kind of why I decided, well, I should bring this to you so that you have this to work with too in your mind when you're looking at these numbers, because I believe this symbolism is important, and also how the body symmetry relates to phi. Actually pi and phi. So this is, oh, I didn't draw a good diameter. Here's a good diameter. Sorry, a better diameter. So this is supposed to be the diameter, and it bisects the circle. So that means that your body is the 12. It's the circle, and the diameter is the symmetry. So you are the temple. So this would be holiness right here. This is what their idea of holiness is. And so your body is the temple. And then this bisecting line is the diameter. And right here we have a 9 and a 9, and then an 8 in the middle. Now, the left shoulder, I'm not sure what is so special symbolically about the left shoulder. If you guys have any clues about that, leave it for me in the comments, because I've seen a lot of right hands cut off, which is the 33, and I'm going to get there. This is the right hand, and they cut this off a lot, like in Washington, D.C. ISIS's hand is cut off. Luke Skywalker's hand is cut off. It goes on and on and on. And I think these thumbs have important numbers, too. And I've talked about, I think that the thumbs up symbol is another one of these Freemason Illuminati symbols. It may have originally been a good symbol, depending on which thumb it is. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the number and which thumb it is. And probably it matters. Then you can look. For example, there's this picture right now of, I don't know if it's for sure true and all that, but Trump coming down the escalator, and it's the Homer Simpson prophecy of that situation. So he's coming down the escalator. He waves with one hand, and then he does a thumbs up with the other hand. Now, if my visual memory serves me right, he turns and offers a right thumb. And the right thumb here is 49. So he's saying the way. The left thumb is the agent. Making sure. I don't know. It could... actually, let me check back on this. It could be a 46. No, it looks like it's a 46. I went over this a few times. Oh, I see. This is, see, okay. There's two joints on the thumb. Sorry, I was confused. So the tip of the thumb is a 46, and the knuckle of the thumb right here is a 47. So this would be, so with 46, I'll write it over here so I don't mess my diagram up anymore, is 23 and 23. So this thumb would be about either conception. This is the power symbol, which is a conception moment. When you press that power symbol, you're bringing that thing to life. And this is the combination of the 23 chromosome, 23, the two sets of 23, which is 46. Also, the thumb is a little phallus. Everybody pretty much is aware of that. So that would be the idea of the left thumb. But if my visual memory serves me right, Trump turns and offers his right thumb, which is the way. So this would be ISIS. So anyway, we can pay attention to that. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, the other thing to notice is that the 55 is a number that I also talk about, and also this 53. The 55 turns out to be the tip of the right, birdie, right? So if you flip the bird with your right hand, you are offering a 55 number, which is alarm or challenge or something like that. And that kind of makes sense, because say somebody flips you off, this 55 number is actually the feeling that you get in your heart when you experience that rudeness. So it's really interesting. 53 is the look number. I'm not sure what that means, but I believe that is this inner phalange of the birdie finger. So then we have 56. Now this is people wear their wedding rings on their left hand, I believe. Mine, especially in the winter, I get smaller. Seems like because I get cold, and then mine, I have to put on a separate little ring to make it stay on. So then I move it back and forth, and sometimes I move it to like bigger fingers to try to keep it on. And then if I'm really just going to lose it, I just put it in a special box. So I don't actually remember. I know it seems really, I don't remember which is the right finger, but this putting metal on your finger right here, this is actually a controlling thing. When we do it out of love, we make it sweet and wonderful. So I don't want to ruin the experience of your symbolic jewelry. I do wear a wedding ring most of the time. Just don't want to have it get lost. But I don't remember which hand it's supposed to be on, but I think it's supposed to be on the left hand, which this number over here 36. It would be a 37. Okay, so that is very interesting. I'm just going to draw another 37 over here, because this is the beginning of the creation, right? This is the beginning of the craft, and that's what a wedding would be, or a marriage. It's the beginning of, you know, your dream, this big idea that both of you have, this plan. You guys are like captains on this team. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to say it's probably the left hand, but now the right hand over here is the 56. Okay, so that is the number of the ratio of 5 to 6. Usually goes, the ratio that I usually work with, and I think is also mentioned in Taking Measure by Scott on Scott, is 6 over 5. Oops, didn't need the parentheses. Times 5 squared approximates pi. And this number, I think I will bring you another Back to the Books on Taking Measure with Scott on Scott to show you this. Just how this fraction, you can square it and cube it, and it's sorry, gosh, I just wish I could stop stammering. It's very central in a lot of these ancient Egyptian cubit type of measurements and some of these sacred measurements. Okay, here we go. So let's look and make sure we just cover these important numbers. 33, 52 is a magician number. I don't want, magician, I don't want people to freak out when I say magician. What I mean is that you collapse the wave on purpose. Everyone is collapsing the wave, and most people are doing it in a dysfunctional way. And then it's kind of like, it's not black or white, you kind of raise up the scale of the functionality of how you intentionally collapse the wave of the quantum random frequency generator, which you could see as a matrix, you could see it as a trap, or you could see it as a high-level school. And I'm not sure what to tell you that it is. I like to see things in terms of a challenge. So I do not believe that I'm trapped here, because I have memories that tell me that I'm not trapped here and that I'm here by choice. I think that other people would experience feeling trapped here, but it's because they have dysfunctionally collapsed the wave in ways that basically they failed the quiz and they have to retake the quiz. No judgment, no sadness. You just have to retake the quiz. There's no such thing as time. You're not wasting your time. Everything's fine. You just have to retake the quiz. So anyway, that's what this is about. So when I say magician, it could be a dark or a light magician, or a gray magician, or a dark gray, or a light gray, or some kind of thing like that. That's why they have Gandalf the gray and Gandalf the white. If you collapse the wave with love, and also from a point of view of completeness with others, where when another person wins, you win too. If you collapse it from that point of view, you will be stronger than ever, because love has untapped cohesiveness for this. So it's really beautiful, actually. And then 25, of course, is pi, right? That's 52 backwards. That's 16 and 9. 169th day of the year is June 18th, and this is the F and the R, and this is another version of 6 and 9. The 196th day is G and O. This is why the frog is very important. Like the princess kiss. You have to kiss frogs to get the prince. All right. So this is 7 and 15. This is the 196th day of the year with 169 remaining. And we just had another marker of this, and I forgot to notice it. It was the 269. And I'm going to go back and look at that, because I think that played into some of the events that we saw. So that's the idea of 52. There are more numbers to dig into here. 27, I don't know. The way I think of this is the Jesuit number, but it is also a 7, and it's also like the kingdom of God and the duality, right? This is a very complex and spiritual number too. But if you combine it together, it's a 9. So if you combine the duality with the inner kingdom of God, then the ego is born. That's not always a bad thing. It's just part of the process. Over here we have 28, which is, these are the 2 shoulders. Now, you could think of these as the towers, really, because this one is the 28, which is the years that the towers stood, and this is the 9/11 built in, because it's the 9 with the duality, which combines to an 11. And then here we have the Ogdoad, the 4 sounds of the Ankh. And their opposites. And then the pineal gland here, pi, right? I think this is the pineal gland, is 63, which is kind of the reverse of 36. Let's go back and take a look at 36. 36 is the seed of life number. Let's find where that is. Looks like it's the tip of the left pinky. So I have no idea what that is exactly meaning. All right, well, I wanted to show this to you. You might be able to write this down if you just pause it in different. I wasn't able to get a whole picture of it. The best shot that I get, I will include here, but I have a shadow, so you might need to write this down if you want, on your own, for your own notes. All right, love you guys. I hope you're having a good day. Talk to you soon.